yo. Just gonna let things flow, let things be, let things just be open and honest. And that's what I'm going to use my channel for, to express my perspective, my unique perspective, my honest perspective, personally, in my personal life, in society, um, a lot of heavy spiritual perspectives, just basically whatever I want to speak about. I'm going to use my channel to do that, to myself, to rant. Okay, if I feel the need to rant on things that need to be discussed, um, to talk about uh, the cosmos, the universe, sea life, sea worlds, different planes of existence, um, meditation, healing, natural holistic healing, art, different forms of beauty, plants, flowers, gardening. I have so many different things, design, interior design, fashion design. I am literally like cooking, like I am just such a marvelous, individual. And I'm not speaking about this like I'm just this person with an inflated ego. I'm not, but I'm so confident in my abilities, in myself. And I, for a while, just did not give myself the credit that I deserved. And just with my expertise in different fields and different, skills, fields of study and skills that I have, um, for a long time, I will always, just think, I'm no longer in that state of mind anymore. But for a long time, I literally believed what, society was projecting, upon me. Like it's so heavy, the level of programming that they, as far as in the US, that they, basically just create and enforce, okay, on American Negro children, and especially women and the males and men as well. And it's just like, to be able to get out of that, to be able to reprogram my mind, to be able to say, hey, I know what's right from wrong. Hey, I don't need, excuse me, society, telling me what I deserve, what I can have, what I can't have, what I'm capable of, what I'm, worthy of. I literally am so grateful that not only as an Indigenous American, but as a woman, as a person, I literally took control back of my mind. I took control back of my narrative. I said, you know what? I don't care what society projects out about me. I am me. I'm an individual. I'm unique. I may not fit into the box that they have created and pushed out to, so-called our communities, and pushed out to other people's communities, in the US and abroad, that we're supposed to only be one way. We're supposed to think one way. We're supposed to act one way. We're supposed to look one way. Well, you know what? My hair is natural and healthy. I haven't worn a wig in years. And if I find a really nice wig that I like, I'll, put one on if I choose to. It's just like all of these perceptions, false perceptions, boxes, that, greetings. Do you have a question to ask, Matt? Um, yes, you could ask a question if you need to. Um, I definitely feel better. I've cleaned up. Okay, I feel better. I've saged my space in my area. Um, yeah, but I'm just no longer accepting what society, pushes anymore. I mean, if society pushes so much misinformation about who I actually am, who my ancestors are. They hide our history, our true culture, the cultures that literally have remnants of our ancient culture in it, and we don't know because it's so much programming that goes into pushing the narrative from living within the US and from what they push out through the media and movies and social media, etc. It's just like I don't want to accept that. I don't want to accept what they say is normal or what they say you have to do within society to be, accepted. Because if you're continuing to chase, society's norm for your individual life, you're going to be miserable. I've met literally millionaires, owners of resorts, okay, and it was in the islands, but and they were happy. They were walking around happy go lucky on the beach, making money. And I've also met millionaires that hated their lives and felt as though with all the money that they have, they couldn't get any sleep, they couldn't get any peace because they was always looking around the next corner to see who was trying to steal from them, and that's all they would think about. And it's just like you don't really need millions of dollars to be a millionaire or a billionaire to have peace. It's so many people that are literally killing themselves and driving themselves crazy to live beyond their means when you can actually get something that is below your means, fix it up how you want it, a home, an apartment, a room for rent. I mean, whatever that is in your budget, and actually live your life. I feel like I thought about my rant in my last video and I was just like, what is going on? Like, and I'm just like, you know what? A lot of people, I pick up on energy so easily, and I could feel the heavy emotions of other people, and it's so many people that are in distress right now. In the States and globally, it's so many people that are live on the edge, mentally, emotionally, wondering how they're going to pay their bills, wondering how they're going to get to work, wondering, they're just one paycheck away from being homeless or one paycheck away from getting their car repoed. And it's just like literally feeling and picking up on all of that energy and all of that fear and all of that aggression, like, and that scarcity mindset. Literally, those energies and those spirits could jump on people. I know I'm just free flowing right now, but negative energy, like today, I have literally experienced like lower vibrations, lower energies just jumping literally through people, the whole area of people. If people were arguing, people of different races was arguing. Is this a racial thing? Is this a racial thing? And then it was just like from different angles though, and I'm just like, wow, like I don't take back anything that I said in my last video because I meant it. And, that is what I felt, and my feelings are completely validated. But I'm just seeing deeper level after I've been able to calm down, after I've been able to sage and cleanse my energy, and wash those, just being around people that are just have low frequencies, negative thoughts, they carry that. And I felt it at that moment in that period of time, because in the space where I went, it was a lot of people that had negative entities and or negative thought forms and vibrations attached to them. And as I am an empath, going into those places with these people, any common area, with people, a lot of people, or, who are of a low vibration and, have all the, different things. People are out and about in the world depressed. I can't even tell you guys how many times I've been out and about and I've seen people, road rage has literally went through the roof. I hear people on a daily basis, blowing their horn. Like, and that's just how it sounds. And people are just going back and forth. I remember it was the other day. It was like 2 or 3 minutes of two people on the road. While people were winding down, getting off from work, doing whatever they were doing. And these two people, idiots, was out there blowing the horn at each other. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was just so crazy. And I'm like, you know what? This is happening on an everyday occurrence. And I'm just like, yo, it's showing up as road rage. It's showing up as people being extra sensitive and people being extra racist, or people being extra sensitive to prejudice and racism. But it's literally, people are fearful. You know what I'm saying? And afraid. We have not been in times like this before. These are biblical times, and we are in the time in literally the last days of judgment, and people can feel it. And I don't have any fear because I know that I'm going to be protected. But to another person that has no spiritual protection, that are just karmic in energy, that are gloom and doom, that are only believes what this society pushes out about them, about other people, work, sleep, eat, repeat, every single day, operating like robots. They're going crazy because it's like they're wondering, like, well, what is life? If they lose their job, they're like, well, is it worth living? And it's kind of like a person like me that has had to literally overcome so many adversities within society, within the so-called community, so-called Black community. It's like, it's normal. It's like, it's not normal, but it's normal to be able to just, okay, like, I'm qualified for this job, and I'm checking the energy of the room. I'm checking the energy of the management or the owner of the company. And I know that they're not going to hire me for this position, even though I'm the best at the position, even though I'm the best person for this position here. And I know that, and I know my ability will be able to exceed what this job title is, what this career, title is. I know that. But I have been denied 4 jobs. At the same time, when I really wanted certain jobs, I actually got them. I actually manifested jobs at certain periods of time where I was able to get them and then manifest them, seek them, find them, manifest them. They're mine, and I actually get the job and they're actually mine. So it's like, what I'm trying to say is, life is not fair. Life is not going to be easy. Life's not fair. Life's not going to be easy. And I feel like American Negro Indians in America, we know that. We've been living in a unjust system for maybe 100, 200 years. That has been against us, and we've had to continue moving forward. We still fought for our rights. Our ancestors still stood up. Our ancestors was fighting for our sovereignty, before we were citizens, because we are the original Americans. And it's just like, we've experienced so much on our land, and lived through so much and overcame so much, that we know as a people that we're going to be okay. We've been through hard times as a collective of people. We've weathered the storm as a collective of people. We're ancient. We're ancient people. We went through, our first enslavement, okay, in ancient Egypt, okay. The ancient Egyptians are of our bloodline. The Paleo Hebrews are of our bloodline. We are ancient people. So it's like, we've overcame over and over and over again. And what people fail to realize or understand, or maybe from ignorance, or the misinformation that the US pushes about our people, but we're some of the strongest people on the planet. There's nobody on the planet that has endured and went through what we endured and went through, and we're still moving forward. We're still thriving. The certain collectives of us within the grander collective, we're still elevating. We're still pushing through. And I don't want to be of any other race. I don't want to be of any other people. I'm so grateful to be an original American. There is nobody like us on this planet. And we see by how everybody loves to play in our culture, take our ancient culture, take the modern cultures, everything we create. Everybody has got the hand out. They want to be us. So they compete with us to be us in our own shit. That's what lets you know we are. I am who I think I am. Because in what world, what landmass, what culture, what heritage, anywhere on the planet, where is it okay for people to cosplay people's culture, modern cultures, ancient cultures, for people to cosplay? We have somebody on it, literally in the US, groups of people in the US, pockets of people in the US that are foreign to the US but are here living in the US, may or may not be a US citizen, and they are cosplaying different angles and pockets of our ancient culture. And literally, they've convinced themselves that they are those people. We could choose from many. The Aboriginal Americans, the Native Americans are running around. Eurasian and Siberian, Mongolian individuals that have those bloodlines are running around pretending to be us. And the government let them take the name as Native American to spite us. We have ancient Egyptians. We have Europeans over there in North Africa running around saying that they're the original ancient Egyptians. We have individuals in Hindustan, which is now called India, and America is called India because we are the indigo people. We are the original American Indians, indigo, indios. It's us. And, there are people who are, the modern natives of, Hindustan, and they're running around holding on to our ancient Hindu culture, our ancient Buddhist cultures, as far as being, Paleo Hebrew and connecting to, the Israelites and the sacred text. And it's just so many different levels. Everything comes back to us. Everything comes back to ancient America. We have literally paintings and artifacts of our people here in America before the Great Flood, when all of the land on the earth, the face of this plane was covered with water for 40 days and 40 nights. Biblical. We have people in America that is buried in the earth of our sacred land of America that predate the flood. But we still have idiots running around calling us Black people, calling us African Americans when we're not Africans, and the Africans know that they're not us, and we don't even look, smell, talk the same. We don't speak the same language. We don't eat the same. We don't cook the same dishes. And people are still, foreigners and, individuals are still walking around, so-called Black Americans who are spiritually misinformed or spiritually dead, are still walking around talking about, oh my God, we're African and we have to go back to the African motherland and that's our motherland. But you're going back to Africa and you're buying this land and these compounds in Mama Africa. And guess what? These Africans are slaughtering you, so-called African Americans, because they know that you don't belong there. And when they're doing it, they're getting away with it because their government, their corrupted police, that all you got to do is go up and pay them, and they'll let you do whatever you want to do. That's why Africa is as corrupt as the U.S., if not more. It's like lawless over there. It's like a wild man's land. It's every you could, if you don't like your neighbor, you could go shoot your neighbor and take his fucking land and take his house, type of shit, you know? And it's just like when I saw something recently where it was another Negro American, Aboriginal American, that thinks he's African, and he's like, you guys gotta leave America. Da 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 da. You guys gotta leave America. When shit hits the fan, does he honestly think that he's going to be safe in Africa? We've seen the movies Hotel Rwanda. We've seen the movies Blood Diamond. We've seen the documentaries of how African gangs and African savages walk around and take over towns and take women and rape women and young girls, running around just like the rebels on Hotel Rwanda. And they're doing it until this day. We see certain African so-called countries that been at war and that are still at war for the last 20 something years, to the point where it's like, how could people still live there? Like, and it's nothing going on but war and killing. That's it. How is Africa going to be safer than America? And this is our original land. That's the thing with people who are scary and that have no faith and that have no spiritual protection. You can't run from judgment. This is something that is not only the judgment of Babylon, the judgment of the spirit of Babylon here in the U.S., the spirit of the U.S. corporation, which is modern day Babylon, which is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, which is modern day Edom. It is being destroyed and judged. And so is all of its connections that are, globally. You can't run from this. This is judgment upon the earth. It doesn't matter if you are in America, in Africa. Things are happening all over the world on a daily basis that a lot of people just don't know about. Every single day, somewhere in the world, it's hurricanes going on, it's tornadoes going on, it's floods going on, it's fires going on, and it continues to go on because this is judgment. We are in the time of judgment. Sometimes it's just like, I know that all of the so-called Aboriginal Americans, that AKA, they just think that they're Africans and African Americans or whatever, Black Americans or whatever. I know that all of our people are not going to be saved through this. But if I'm able to enlighten someone, if I'm able to enlighten, whether they are of my race, whether they are of my ethnicity, if I'm able to enlighten someone, then my job is done. Because I know at the beginning and at the end of the day, I can't save everyone. Everyone is not going to be connected to how I deliver information, how I deliver messages, and it's okay. But what I'm not going to do is sit on here and lie and sit up in your face and tell you a whole bunch of sweet nothings, because I'm not a deceiver. One thing about me that I love is that I'm honest. I'm real. If I feel a way, I'm going to tell you I feel a way. If I see something that I don't like, I'm going to tell you that I don't like that. When I see something that doesn't look right within, my own race of people, collectively, I'm going to speak on it, and I'm going to continue to speak. I'm going to continue to call out people, racist people, prejudiced people, colorist people, the system, the corruptness happening globally, or corruption. I don't think corruptness is a word, but you catch my drift. Like, the situation that I'm so grateful that Spirit allowed me to see and to experience today is that if you're not grounded, you could get swept up in other people's fears. You could get swept up in other people's, lower vibrations, lower thought forms. Because if you're not grounded, your energy is not grounded enough. And especially if you are a sensitive person, that's sensitive to energy like how I am, that's why I'm not up here all the time, jumping up here showing my face, because I am a empath. And I have to do what is best for me. And at this time, it's not showing my face. So I know that everybody doesn't know what it's like to be a empath. Everybody doesn't know what it's like to be chosen. And it's like, I'm still working on myself. I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect. I'm an old soul, but I am not perfect. I have my flaws. I have my faults. If you have a physical body, everybody does. But one thing for sure, one thing for certain, just stay grounded, because it's so much fear mongering. It's so much manipulation of the system. In today's time, they're laying off people. They're laying off people in the federal government. They're laying off people in the government. A lot of these corporations are in on it. They're laying off people in droves. People are panicking. They can't get another job. It's so much like mental and emotional and financial instability is the word that I'm looking for, that is going on across racial lines right today in the US and globally, that is going on the planet. And it's just like, this time more than ever, people need to jump deeper into your faith. Jump deeper into healing yourself, jump deeper into connecting to the universe, grounding yourself. Certain crystals that help you to ground yourself. Amethyst. I had to put my crystals on. I had to cleanse my spirit, my physical body with water, with herbs. I had to literally ground myself. I had to clean my body, my temple. I had to clean my space. I had to disinfect and wipe things down, because sometimes when you go out into the world, you might pick up certain people's energy and residue from being in certain places and spaces. Because what a lot of people forget is that it's the spirit realm first, and then it's the physical realm. You might have went into a place where it was a lot of evil spirits trying to attach to people, jumping into people. This person's arguing. That's the spirit of arguments. That's the spirit of anger, is what the Most High allowed me to see. And guess what? It jumped into me. I started arguing. I started getting angry, because it was literally the spirit. And the place that I went earlier, it was the spirit of fear. It was the spirit of anger. It was the spirit of arguments. It was the spirit of lack mentality. It was a spirit of, it's me against you. And it's like, it showed me, that I have to stay grounded, even more than I was before. Because with all of the energy and things that people are going through as a collective in the US and on the planet, when people are, going through these hardships and misfortunes, and, people are mentally having meltdowns and breakdowns, and, it's just like, we are all living this personification of experience. And it's like, dag, I actually was reflecting, on what I said out of the heat of anger. What I, said after that spirit jumped on me and my mouth started going and I started to talk. And even though the individuals that were there were low frequency and they weren't innocent, and what I said, I meant every single word, but my delivery I could have said it in another way. I could have said it in a better way, but I chose the harshest way to say it because it was an energy of anger. It was an energy of frustration. It was the energy of anger that a lot of people in that area was carrying on them. Frustration, jealousy, envy. It was that type of energy. And it was so many people that was carrying that energy, what I seen in the spirit, that child, it jumped on them, it jumped on them, it jumped on me. And next thing you know, I'm out there arguing. Next thing you know, I'm out there talking real harsh. But it's like, wow, like I don't regret what I said and I don't regret what I did. But it's like, dang, it just showed me how important it is to watch the spaces and places that you go in today's time. It's so important. Listen to the universe when the universe says, maybe not today. Maybe you don't need to go to that supermarket today. Maybe you don't need to go to that store today. Maybe that's a sign for you to not go today. See, the universe sends us signs. Our spiritual team, our intuition sends us signs. You could be on your way somewhere that you don't need to be at that particular time. And when you ignore those signs, and then it's like when you get in a situation where now you're arguing, now you're you know what I'm saying, you're upset, you're riled up, you're angry, you're in the energy and the spirit of I'm going to defend myself. Now you're getting aggressive because you're around people that are aggressive, and you had to, in a sense, you have to adapt to that environment. So it just taught me today, because I got signs today. And before I went to this specific place, not too long ago, maybe a few weeks back, where I have to take my own advice. I have to listen, to myself, to my spiritual team, and know, hey, just because I want to go somewhere and do something, when spirit tells you not to move, you have to be obedient and you have to listen, because spirit knows, the universe knows, your spiritual team knows, your ancestors know things that we may not know, and things that we don't know and that we are blinded to in certain aspects, as the one with the physical vessel. So it's just really teaching me so much. Um, if this is a message for people that have actually been through some things, some supernatural things, some bizarre spiritual, metaphysical experiences, people that have actually, overcame, what would destroy, so many people. And we got to walk away from it. All praise to the Most High. We don't even look like a quarter of what we've been through, let alone half. And it's just like, I'm actually, listening, like, I'm literally like, I had to sit down with myself and say, you know what? The stuff that you went to that place to get, you could have not went there today. You could have just said, hey, I'm going to do this another day. I'm going to plan and make space to do this another day, because spirit is telling me not to go. I'm getting subtle signs not to go. I'm getting these signs not to go. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I chose to go anyways. And it's just teaching me that we're going in the days and times where going against your gut feeling is a day of the past. You going against your gut feeling, I'm getting in a spirit that it could be the difference between life or death. It could be the difference between you. It could be that extreme is what I'm getting in the spirit. And for the times that we're living in, for the unprecedented times that we're living in, things are going to get worse. It's literally organized chaos, orchestrated chaos. Now that I'm saying this, my so-called neighbor that lives above me, his disgusting ass dog is jumping around, doing backflips, trying to throw me off. That's how I know that this message is meant for somebody. And I'm calling him disgusting because I don't know. Like I like animals, but I don't like when animals just are just jumping around, jumping around, jumping around. Like, no, I hate that. Take, I don't know. He's a fucking dog, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it just be annoying, especially when you don't have a dog and people's animals is like disturbing your rest period during resting hours. Yes. Um, we are going into unprecedented times, and trusting your discernment is more important now than ever. And mistakes um, with certain decisions, certain choices, but as long as you stay true to the divine and stay true to yourself and stay open to working on yourself continuously and healing yourself, then you'll be better off than a lot of people out here that are unhealed, blind, dumb, ego driven, arrogant, and just walking around in absolute disgusting energy all the time. Not some of the time, all of the time. And those are the people that you want to avoid. The place that I went to was full of just disgusting individuals energetically, basically giving peasant, if I want to be honest. And, I just have to learn how to move around. And it's like, it's every time I go into a specific store, it's always, a specific location. It's always like some mess or some drama or somebody arguing or some extra aggression or somebody, insulting someone. And I just have to learn. I don't need to be in spaces like that. And excuse me, around people like that. And that's how I live my life. So I don't have any, individuals with that type of energy that are close to me in my regular life. So I feel like when I go into certain places where a lot of these people might just show up, it doesn't matter if I know them or not. It's just beware, y'all. The enemy will use any low frequency in your family, whether you're close to people, whether you know people or not, to get to you, to get next to you, to get in your energy. You become who you are around, and even if you are not even around these people for a long period of time, it's just like, damn, like these evil spirits that are attached to these people, and demons that are operating in these people, like, they want to dim the chosen one's light. They want to bring that brightness down. They want to bring, misery loves company. And miserable people, they could sense somebody that's healed, okay? They could sense somebody that has a soul, that is enlightened, somebody that has favor over them, that somebody that has protection over their life. They could sense that energy because they don't have it. See, people that don't have it can, and people that have it, they're like, oh, well, this person's different, or this person, shines, or this person just, has something different about them. They stand out. But the difference between a chosen one and just a unhealed, manipulative, ego-driven, narcissistic type of energy, they want it for them. They want to take it from themselves. No, that individual wants to take the chosen ones down and take their energy and their light and dim it and extort them for their energy. And another chosen one will say, oh my gosh, like, I like how they do this, or I like how they do that, because we have our own light, we have our own soul, we have our own special gifts. We don't have to hate on people that have something that we don't have, or are talented with something that we don't have, or are gifted and skilled in certain areas, because we know that we have our own gifts. We know that we have our own spiritual gifts. We know that we have that favor. We don't walk around hating on people that have more than us materialistically, because we've had many things throughout our journey, and they came and they went. We got some of the stuff back, other stuff left, and we could get it back if we want it. You know what I'm saying? So we're not caught up in the material, realm of possessing. And I think that's exactly where I am on my journey right now. And I'm so grateful, because it took a long time for me to get here. I used to, literally like equate, my worth to the things that I possessed, the money that I was making, the access to different resources, the trips that I was able to take, the experience that I was able to be afforded. And I'm grateful, so grateful for all the opportunities that I've been afforded in my life. But I'm just like, wow, that it doesn't make you, you know what I'm saying? Like, the money, what I'm trying to say is that the money doesn't make you. The things that you buy, certain things that are of monetary value, they should not make you. You wear it. You make it look better. You tailor it to fit you, and it looks good with you in it. It looks good with because you're wearing it, because you styled it a certain type of way. Make it your own. And a lot of the times, especially in today's time with over consumerism and people just worshiping, material things and judging people based on them having or not having certain material things, when the person that doesn't have a certain material thing could be way more spiritually evolved than you and had more than you in the material realm. But just when you meet them, they don't have it. And it's just like, I'm just so grateful and thankful that my spiritual eyes are open. I see people that literally have barely nothing in the material realm, and they'll look down on somebody else because they don't have something, but you're riding around in trash. That person could be saving up to get something of better quality, but it's all about the mentality of the person. See, some people, they don't care about quality. It's all about quantity with them. They don't care about, as long as they have a whole lot of clothes, that's all they care about. But it could be from Shein. It could be from Timu. But as long as they have a whole lot, every time they just see so much. No, some of us, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. For example, I'm going to use an example. I like personally Ann Taylor. I like how their stuff is made. I like how their stuff lasts. I like how their stuff fits. And I love the longevity of certain brands, of reputable brands of clothing, etc. Me getting dresses from Ann Taylor is going to last me. And it has great quality for me, for my specific taste. Everybody doesn't have the same taste. Some people might, they don't care about the quality. They're just into having a whole bunch of stuff, even if it's the value of the stuff, the quality of the stuff is very low. So certain individuals don't mind buying a whole bunch of, Fashion Nova when that stuff is cheap, but they're overcharging you for it, or getting stuff off of Timu that is lower quality, and it's a lot of it, some stuff is good, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the quality is just piss poor. If the wares that you have on certain items is just, it's numbered. because the quality is low. See, I'm the type of person that I value quality over quantity. I don't care. I used to back in the day, I used to care about having a whole bunch of stuff, having a whole but having access to a whole bunch of people, this and that. But I found when I was opening myself up to have, to be accessible by many people, the quality of the people and friend groups went very much so downhill. And I don't want to, go off on a tangent, but I value quality over quantity. I value real over fake. I don't want to go, I wouldn't go, I never liked, fake stuff. I'm like, either you get the real thing or you don't get it. And that's just how I am. I want the real thing. I don't want to settle in my life in any avenue. I don't want to settle for people that are piss poor and horrible quality. I don't want to settle for horrible, poor quality relationships. I don't want to settle for low quality, poor quality situations and spaces. I don't want to settle for that. I don't want to settle for that treatment all across the board because I know that I'm worth more. I'm worthy of the best type of treatment. I'm worthy of the best type of circumstances. I'm worthy of having exactly what I want, and I'm going to get it. That's the difference between me and just a regular, karmic. I know I'm worthy of the life that I want. That's why I did the work on myself. See, individuals that are too afraid to do the work on themselves, too afraid to face their fears, too afraid to face their demons, too afraid to heal their traumas and their childhood traumas and wounds, they'll never be better versions of themselves, and they'll never even be able to create a better life for themselves because you got to start within you first. That is what I've learned. So I'll leave you guys with this. This is definitely this is turned into a motivational talk, but this is exactly, the type of stuff that I want to speak about. I'm much calmer than the last video that I did. And I just know that I'm destined for greatness and that the chosen are destined for greatness on the planet. The star seeds, shout out to us, the originals of the Americas. Shout out to us, the original star seeds. Shout out to us, the original chosen. We are elevating in mind, body, spirit, and in soul because we actually have a soul. All praise to the Most High. Stay aware, stay alert, and stay grounded. Peace.